and more golden and more full of light. And when you feel the urge to stretch or to open up because the light is just getting bigger, do that. And the ball of light slowly dims and you're aware of your upper body. And open your eyes when you're ready. And come to the now with full awareness. We didn't do the feet, but they're going to be done next time.
Coach, ready for you.
What?
I
How you guys
want
doing?
a crew line during this, by the way.
We're missing a couple people, right? Chris?
Vanessa's going to be here around 8 o'clock.
Vanessa, Chris, and Gabe.
Christian.
And Gabo. Oh, there you are. Gabe's here. How about Gabo? Is he hiding somewhere? Okay. Cool, cool. I got a text from one of our students that's off to college. The most powerful muse of all is our own inner child. What does that mean?
The most powerful what?
Muse of all is our own inner child. What does that mean? Okay, so that sounds good. Makes another really good poster. But what does it actually mean?
When we let our inner child be the light and love it carefully, it uses us to be, it inspires us what we could be capable of.
Okay, cool. Good. Anybody want to jump in?
Because it's our purest form.
Okay.
Being a child.
Okay, cool. Anybody else? We're good?
The child isn't afraid, they just play.
Okay, cool. All right, that's good stuff. And Gracie, I see you. Maybe you'll last longer than 10 minutes tonight. Okay, and how's this frame for streaming? I hear we're streaming. Hello, everybody that's watching. I'm Coach Clay Banks. We're coming to you right now. It's live from claybankstudio.com and getting ready to go into our Thursday night class. If you have any questions along the way, you can always reach out to us, info@claybankstudio.com. And there you have it. Okay, cool. So let me just do this on that. I'm not going to talk long because we have assignments, and I just want to drive home a point of what I've been noticing. And I'm just going to, this is going to be a little bit of a hard note, and it's a note kind of across the board. Can you cool it just a little bit in here? Thanks. An interesting thing took place just on my way between the day class and this class with one of the students. And it ties into what I've been dealing with for probably the past maybe 2 weeks here. And just noticing when it comes to work, the level of work. And I've been an acting coach for a long time. Took my first acting class in 1977 in New York. Did some stuff in New York. Had a one-man show. Then I hit the road, did the corporate thing, for those of you guys that know my story, and I played hooky while I was doing corporate in 1987 and did a play. I studied and I just squeaked. I was cheating. I wasn't supposed to be doing that, but I had to do it anyway. And then when I finally quit corporate, I started acting in 1990 in Texas. Did that for 2 years, moved in 92, been in Hollywood. And it worked, as you guys know, for 20 years in Hollywood, live theater all over town, improv shows, commercials, TV, film, you know, the whole thing. And coaching since 1990, coaching actors, coaching people since 1980. I've been coaching since 1980. And I'm just noticing that this thing that I talk about, as far as people that just grit, for lack of anything else, grit, just just an intestinal fortitude, a desire, a nature to really want to be excellent and really, really going after and not jacking ourselves around with excuses and stories. People that are really serious about doing anything. I've just found it's been declining. It's just been declining. And it's kind of upsetting. And when it comes to the kind of work, the level of work that people will do, I mean, COVID didn't help things as far as personal intimacy goes. I mean, interest comes from intimacy. Story is told from intimacy. Why? Because it's told from relationships, and relationships are determined by the level of truthful intimacy that people have amongst one another. You know, you don't have intimacy, you don't really have story, you don't have relations. It just doesn't work. So that was coupled with just some of the things that I've been watching, and it's been coupled with, well, a lot of things. When things line up, you ever notice you're on a topic on something and you start just seeing all these things happen in life, and it's kind of because I'm a teacher, I watch those things and I go, okay, what's the life wisdom in that, and how can I? That must be a teaching note for right now. So let's go ahead and move on it. And when you watch that line up, it lines up. One of the actors in between classes said, "Hey, coach," we were just walking to our cars. He said, he stopped. He said, "Can I ask you something?" I said, "Yeah." He goes, "What's with actors today?" I go, "It's not just actors, man. It's people." So the whole thing is just the quality is just dropping. He says, "What do you think?" Well, there's a lot of reasons, but it doesn't matter. It's what do we do about it? And am I going to become one of those people that's following status quo of this? I'm watching it. Listen, I've been around. You lose your hair, you gain wisdom. That's just how it works, okay? And you get the wisdom, and the wisdom is saying, guys, this isn't a good thing. And you're going to follow the pack, or you're going to break out and you're going to do something different. And what are you going to do different? You do the things that get you towards where you're trying to go, and you start eliminating the things that don't. It's not complicated. All right, I've been one of my friends, I spoke to him in Texas today. He said, because you got an interesting story. Have you ever had a 9 to 5? I said, "No, Larry, I never had a 9 to 5. I was an entrepreneur as a kid, mowing lawns and selling, drinks and candy bars for a marked up price at a stand in front of my house, and became a hippie, hit the road, did that for several years, then went to work as a commissioned worker for a major company, and then they hired me as an employee, and that only went for a certain period of time, and then I was an actor for all those years, and ran my own businesses, my own production companies, and my own studio, and it's just kind of the way things have gone for me. I mean, it's not like I've really ever really worked for anybody like that. Question? Fortune 500, was that 9 to 5? No way. That was all traveling, and we just worked. We worked 80, 90 hours a week. We were traveling all over the country and all over the world, and basically selling and training people to sell, and that was what that was all about. It was a big money-making division of the. We made more money for the Macmillan Company than any of the other divisions. That was my deal. They sent me into offices, and I helped make more money. I made millions of dollars for that company. So I want you to have the teaching note. I'm not sitting here downing on you guys. I'm trying to separate the wheat from the chaff. You know what that expression means? Anybody? The wheat from the chaff?
The wheat.
Wheat from the chaff.
Yeah.
What's it mean?
You're unhusking.
Yeah. Getting rid of the things that aren't of any use to getting the nuggets out. Yeah. So separating it is like this. It's what I told the master class today. It's actually so much easier to get ahead right now because all you got to do is be on your game and be focused and be on point, because there's so much of this terrible mediocrity happening. I'll give you an idea. I'm not going to get into it. You guys know who it is, but one of our people in the studio just went to work for a major company, a big electronics company. I mean, it's like, you know, it took all these interviews to get in and all these qualifications and everything, and finally they got in. Been there just a couple weeks, and it's like, this guy, he's leading, he's just rising, because, and just seeing, it's like people that just really are in positions and aren't really good at what they're doing, because there's not that thing, you know. And in between classes, I went home to grab something to eat, and it's Thursday night, so I throw the football game on, Thursday Night Football. And it's Denver Broncos that are playing the Cleveland Browns right now as we speak. Last look, the Broncos are getting their asses to them. But anyway, that's another story. One of the things that they always talk about the team when it's home field, and they'll do clips about the city, and, you know, if a game's being played in LA or Chicago or Miami, New York, wherever, they'll show the city and talk about the city, because it's the home team. So we're talking about the fans in Cleveland. They said the thing about the fans in Cleveland, what we love about Cleveland, the thing about Cleveland is, they were interviewing one of the players. He goes, "These are my people. This is me. This town is just made up of hard working people. Just they're tough, and they work hard." And I started thinking about Californians and going, you know, we got the weak leaves out here, you know, and you got these people up in Iron Country, and they're strong character. And since I've been out here working, I find that most of the most powerful people that I've seen as students and worked with have come from New England. And it's like there's just that whole area, New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, up in that Chicago, that whole little section up there just has brought people that just they're serious about, they understand work ethics and applying themselves and making things happen, as opposed to entitlement and just living a lifestyle. You're trying to get work in one of the most competitive and overcrowded industries in the universe as we know it. You want to be working actors. And one of the big deceptions, because I've been around a while, for you to get acting work back in the 90s, you had to have access to this thing called the breakdowns. And in order to get access to the breakdowns, you had to have representation. And you needed to work your asses off and figure ways out to get representation so you could get access to these breakdowns so you would have a shot at work. And then this black market stuff started to open up, where people were hacking into the breakdowns and starting fictitious management companies just so people could work. It was people that they looked at back then, for the most part, were legitimate actors that had to go through a certain process to get to a certain level where you would be looked at. That's how it was. Well, with the advent of the internet, apps and technology, I don't even know how many companies are out there allowing you access to the breakdowns. Actors Access puts something out, you could get 500,000 submissions on a project. They can't look at everybody submitting, because now there's no more gatekeepers at that level, and there's so many of these mediocre projects being done. Not all of them, there's some good stuff mixed in there. But you're getting so much of the, anybody that has a cell phone or a $1,000 camera, a few bucks, and can buy a case of water and a bag of chips, can get people together to make a movie, run a breakdown. And now you're an actor. You're in the entertainment business. And this is where you get this mess